Hey, Joe here from Avalon, and today I'd like to talk to you about what you need to know about your finances to help grow your small business and make it more profitable. First, does any of this sound familiar? And this is what we hear a lot from new clients, but they just really don't know how their business is performing throughout the year. They may be looking at their bank balance and may have some cash, but they don't really know how much cash is theirs or how much is the government's. And you don't really have a clear picture of what you owe to who. Even if you do get some reports, often they're kind of generic. They don't have a lot of meaning that's specifically associated to your business, or you don't get them at all. And you're left to wonder about your tax filings and whether they're going to be filed on time. You kind of blindly trust that your accountant and bookkeeper have your back on that. And lastly, what we hear is that business owners want their advisor to be reaching out to them. They don't want to have to reach out about a meeting or figure out what's going on with their taxes, that kind of thing. And we hear that a lot. I think people want their accountant to tell them how they're performing and what they should be doing. So those are the big things we hear. And if any of those sound familiar, you're not alone. They come up all the time. So in this video, I'm going to show you what you should expect from your accountant and bookkeeper, and arm you with the knowledge about what you should be asking for. So here's what we'll cover. Number one, what reports you should be looking at and when. Number two, when you should be meeting with your accountant and what you should be discussing. Number three is what tools you should be using to get the financial information that you need. Number four is what qualities to expect from your accountant. That's conduct, basically. And lastly, what you should be expecting to pay for a finance function within your business. So number one is reports, whether it's weekly or monthly, even quarterly or annually. What reports should you be seeing? Without access to these numbers, you're really driving blind, and we like to get the good numbers into business owners' hands so they can make good decisions. So number one is an income statement. How is your business performing month over month? And what we like to add to this is a 12-month rolling year, so that every month you're seeing the last 12 months accumulated into one column. This helps see not just immediate trends, but how you've been performing over the past year, a full business cycle. Balance sheet, you should be seeing where you are, who owes you money, who you owe money to, what are your assets and liabilities. And this should be explained in plain language so you can see each line item and how it affects your business and what's coming up. An accounts payable report, specifically who do you owe money to at any given time and when's that cash going to go out the door. That's a really important thing to know for your cash flow management, and something you should be looking at weekly. Accounts receivable. So this is the flip side of that. Conversely, who owes you money and who do you need to follow up for payment? Getting cash in the door is one of the biggest things you need to do as a business owner. And you should be seeing who you should be following up with, who's overdue for payment, and getting on those customers to pay you quickly. Next is cash flow. So seeing where your money is coming from and where it's been going over the last month. In contrast to an income statement, this is actually the cash balance at each time, not necessarily what invoices have been sent out. Next is the bank balance. You should be looking at this daily. You probably already are or very close to daily, but knowing what cash you have in the bank, what's gone out over the last day, what's come in, really important to see on a daily basis. Lastly, reporting wise, you want to see your key performance indicators. What are the things that are specific to your business that are going to drive your success? So these are some examples: lifetime value of a customer satisfaction ratings, labor productivity. So that's how productive are your employees being, and what's your net income as a percentage of revenue. And that one is a big one. How much you should be targeting. So when do you hire the next person? Do you have enough profit? And are you performing well to hire a next employee? All these things, the point is they should be very specific to your business and what your current worries are and help you drive success. So With the best accountants, you should be getting these reports on a timely basis. They shouldn't be inundating you with too much information. Very easy to understand reports explained to you in plain language. That's the idea here. So number two, when you should be meeting. So you get these reports throughout the year at different intervals. How often should you be meeting with your accountant? And I think the typical scenario is where you hear from your accountant kind of once or twice a year, maybe at tax time. But for our experience, that's not good enough. We like to see that much more frequently. Quarterly basis is a good one, but you should still be getting some sort of interaction with your accountant on a more frequent basis. So number one, weekly meeting with your bookkeeper to see what cash is coming in, what cash is going out. This doesn't have to be a long meeting, and it can be just a report, but you should have a chance to ask some questions here. On a monthly basis, what we do is send out a video like this to our clients, and it'll explain with a screen share what reports and what they mean. If a meeting's required after that to do some more explanation, we take that on. But for the most part, this is just a video that goes out. Quarterly meeting. This is sort of a goal setting meeting. We meet with our clients on a quarterly basis to go over the results of the last quarter and see what's coming up over the next 3 months. You want to have a good indication of what your goals are over the next little bit and what we can do to help. And then annually, tacking on to that quarterly meeting, we should talk about the taxes for the year, what's coming up over the next year, and what it's going to look like for taxes for the current year, and explain that in detail. So great accountants will be proactive. They should be reaching out to you on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis to get the reports into your hands and help you understand them, and also do some goal setting and figure out where you want to go in the future. So next, I'd like to go over tools. So the ability to access all of these reports comes down to what tools you're using. And we believe now, in this day and age, everyone should have cloud-based accounting. It's a single source of information and a place where you and your accountant can interact using the same data. So if your accountant isn't buzzing in your ear and telling you that it's the bee's knees to have cloud accounting, it might be time to look elsewhere. If they're happy letting you have a desktop software, that kind of thing, with backups and the whole bit, it's a little bit old school, and we'd like to see everybody on cloud-based software these days. So why is it so great? So you get real-time data, you're dealing with live data, so is your accountant. You get in-depth reporting, so you can build reports that are custom to you and adapt those reports at any given time. Third-party integration. So every business is different. So your accounting platform is really the central place for that information, but you want to be able to tack on maybe an inventory piece of software or time tracking or any number of different solutions that would integrate and filter into your accounting software. And cloud accounting does this really well. Instant access anytime, anywhere. You can be on the beach in, St. Bart's or something, and be able to see, whether an invoice has been sent out or how this month is going. You can see this from anywhere. So great accountants will push the cloud accounting, and they'll probably be using this themselves. So we'll have lots of good information for you about their own experience with cloud-based software and how to use it effectively. So conduct. So next section here is talk about what your accountant, how they should be acting, how they should be interacting with you. So this is sort of a capture-all of the other things that you should expect. So one is responsiveness. You should expect that your accountant should respond to you within a day, maybe two if it's tax season, but they should not be so overloaded that they're not responding to you quickly. Education and communication. So proactively teaching you about your finances and what you should be looking at, not assuming that you know more than they do about your business. Accountability, straight up, no straight talk with no bull. So how are you performing against your goals, and holding you accountable to those goals? You said 3 months ago you were going to do this. Why hasn't that happened? Trust. So this is a person that gets to see behind the curtain of your business, and sometimes you have to put out a pretty brave face to the world. And this is a person that you need to be able to trust with some of that more vulnerable information. Advocacy. I think this is a big part of what your accountant should be doing. They should be speaking about your business in such positive terms, and helping you achieve your goals and promoting you wherever they can. Proactivity. So you shouldn't be the one have to reach out all the time. They should be reaching out to you, asking you questions, figuring out when the next meeting's going to be, and what your goals are for the next little while. Next, confidence. You shouldn't be scared to reach. You should have complete confidence in your accountant, and you should be able to reach out to them without worrying about a bill or an hourly bill for that phone call or question that you have. That puts you on the wrong side of the table. I think fixed price pricing is where it's at, and you can reach out at any time and be able to get your answers quickly without worrying about extra money that you're spending. Empathy. So this is the last one, and I think this is a big one for a lot of people. Is they kind of want their service providers and accountants specifically to put themselves in your shoes. So be able to see how you're interacting with the messages that they're sending you, how you're interacting with those reports, and get them in a way that's seamless for your day-to-day life. So we want to make sure that we're always sending out reports that are going to be well received and understood, and putting ourselves in the business owner's shoes. So great accountants will be responsive to a fault. It's 24 hours. They'll over communicate. They'll be proactive and reach out to you. They'll advocate for you, and they'll be empathetic. So these are all qualities you want to look for in an accountant, and you should be holding your accountant's feet to the fire on all of these things and getting that level of service. So cost. Okay, next one up, this is the last section, is cost. How much should you be investing in your finance function? So that can be some sort of combination between bookkeeping and accounting, and even CFO level services. How much should you be investing in that? So basic level service, we expect people to invest about 1.5% of revenue for the minimum compliance level, and to have that be done at a really high level, and nothing be missed. So that's kind of the basic level that we would look at. Next, advanced, if you want more advanced reporting, and some education and sitting down for meetings, expect to spend about 2 to 3% of your revenue. This can change by industry, of course, and stage of business, but these are sort of rough budget items that you could put into your business. Full finance function, we expect 3%, and maybe up to 4%, although that would be pushing it. For compliance, customized reporting, and having reports and someone sort of a CFO light for you to help you set goals and do all of that. So that's kind of the general expectation for budget. So great accountants will give you options based on the stage of your business. So they should be speaking to you up front about what the costs to you are going to be, and holding to that. So if anything else is going to come up, there shouldn't be any surprise bills. They should tell you up front whether that's going to be a project cost that's outside of the current engagement that you've agreed upon, but it should be a fixed price going forward so you can budget and plan for your cash flow. So one of the big worries that we have people approaching us is what does it take to actually switch your accountant? So if that's what you're thinking about doing and you're not getting what you want out of your current accountant, this is all done very professionally. So our process is to contact the previous accountant in a polite and respectful manner and gather all the data so it's seamless. We'll do a seamless onboarding process onto new software, cloud-based software, and schedule regular meetings throughout that process to make sure that business owner always knows where they stand and nothing's falling behind. So if you'd like to learn more about how we do what we do, please feel free to fill out the form below and reach out to us. No pressure or anything. We love to just chat about your business and see if we can help. Thanks so much for watching, and any questions, just please reach out. Thanks so much.